Welcome to Make Something with me, David Picciuto, and today I'm going to show you how to make this cool crayon display for your kids. Stick around and see how it's done. Today's video is sponsored by
Microjig, maker of the gripper. Work safer, work smarter.
So I got this piece of maple here, but I think it's too thick, so I'm going to resaw it right down the middle. No gizmos and gadgets. I'm just going to draw a pencil line right down the middle here. We're just going to cut this on the bandsaw. All we're going to do is follow the line. No fences, no fancy equipment. There we go. I have a full video on how to resaw without gadgets on the bandsaw. I'll have a link down below as well as somewhere on the screen. But that came out great. Gotta have a sharp blade, gotta have a sharp blade. So now I'm just gonna flatten this out on the planer so I have a smooth side on both sides of each board. Planer's allowed to use hearing protection. That is how you get two thin boards out of one thick board. You could also do this on the joiner, but my joiner is not set up correctly right now. Or drum sander if you have one. All right, so I'm going to run this through the table saw just to clean up my edge here because I'm going to glue these together and I want a nice clean joint. You could also do this on the joiner, but like I said earlier, my joiner is not set up. All right, so now I'm just going to glue these together and we'll have a nice little beautiful book match pattern. Just making sure that the boards are lined up with my fingers. That'll just mean less sanding later. See, that's not perfect down there. Go. All good. We'll just let that dry for an hour or so. All right, so I got this huge ass piece of mahogany here. It's flat on one side, rough on the other, so we're just going to run it through the planer. All right, so now I'm just going to glue this piece of maple on top of the mahogany. This is purely decorative. So now that this guy is dry, I'm gonna cut out two pieces on there, and then we're going to, I should have enough material here to make two crayon holders. Just going to glue these two pieces here, so we have mahogany, maple, mahogany, maple. Cool, cool. All right, so now we have our two blanks. I'm just going to find the center on each one and draw a circle and rough cut this out on the bandsaw before we head over to the lathe. So we're going to mount this on the lathe, and what we're going to do is we're just going to true this up so it's nice and round, and then we're going to remove this area here for the second tier of the crayons. We'll also remove the middle area here for our other crayons and pencils and pens. All right, we got this guy mounted in the lathe. We're just gonna true it up. So now I'm just going to remove a bunch of material from here to create the second tier. All right, so now we moved our banjo over here to the front, and I'm going to hollow out this inside. Just gonna pull some sandpaper out of Sandy over here. You might remember Sandy from the video that we made a couple weeks ago. If not, you can check that out here. So now that the templates are cut out, I'm going to use spray adhesive to attach it right on the... So before we take this over to the drill press to drill these holes, I want to take an awl or an ice pick and start my holes, because a lot of times what happens is the drill bit will tear up the template and I'll lose my place. But if I have all the holes started with an ice pick, no matter what happens, we're good to go. So now we're going to drill all the holes. I have a 3/8 inch drill bit in here with a depth stop of about 7/8. Last one. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to drill a hole for... I have a couple crayons in here as well, just for me to determine the height of the dowel. There's going to be a handle on top, so we'll cut it about right. So I'm just gonna coat this with shellac. I want it to be a kid-friendly finish, and shellac is all natural. I don't need to worry too much about getting in the little crayon holes. Give it a good shellacking, if you know what I'm saying, like your father used to do to you.
Hey David, tell me more about shellac.
Well, the great thing about shellac is it's easily removable. You can just use some denatured alcohol to remove it. Or I've heard you can even use beer to ruin a finish on a shellac table. I don't know if that's true or not, but denatured alcohol will take the shellac right off. It's also great for thinning it down if you want really nice thin coats for brushing on, so you get no brush marks. Shellac is a really, really easy finish to work with, just because it dries so fast. It's natural, it's safe. You can thin it down real easy. You can take it off, you can apply more coats. You can get a good shine out of it. You can get a dull finish out of it, whatever you want. Shellac is fantastic. I don't use shellac enough. Shellac dries really fast, so that'll be ready in a few minutes. For the bottom, we found these wacky kid color pieces of felt. They were like 39 cents. Cut in just inside the line, so it'll be slightly smaller than the base. I just want the glue to reach the edges.
You got one shot at this, Rocky.
The Eminem song is playing in the background. Ooh, looking good, looking good. Only one thing left to do. So I got these little wooden craft balls from my local craft store. You could use that, or you could use a squishy globe for the handle. I'm just gonna drill a hole over here in Antarctica. Nobody lives there, so it ain't gonna hurt anything.
It really would look nice with the ball on there.
Wouldn't it? You like that, Antarctica? Just one thing left to do. All right, there's only one thing left to do, and that's add some crayons. If you like what I do, you can support me at patreon.com/Picciuto. And I'd like to thank Renee, Nathan Bird. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you'd like to find out how you can get your name mentioned on the show, visit patreon.com/Picciuto. Plus, we got all kinds of other perks. We got extended vlogs over there. We do free plans over there. And we also do awkward one-on-one Skype calls. If you want to find out how you can do that, visit patreon.com/Picciuto. All right, so I really, really like the way these came out. Just really awesome. Did plan on using like a wooden ball like this for the top, but Eric saw these globes at Michael's craft store and thought that would be perfect. And I'm like, oh, it's colorful. Plus it keeps that kid's theme. And then on the bottom, we have the felt bottoms. That one's getting dirty already on my dirty bench. I thought about using a little Lazy Susan, and then I decided, you know, that's overkill. This spins just fine, just like this. But if you want to get fancy with yours, you could use the Lazy Susan on the bottom. Another thing that I wanted to do that I never really got a chance to do is I wanted to take the crayon sharpener that comes with the box and drill a hole on the side here and put that in there, and then make a little, I don't know, kind of like a little flaps to empty out the shavings. Just never got a chance to do that, but I think that would be pretty easy. Just drill a little hole here and a bigger hole down here, and then with a piece of wood and maybe some magnets that just goes back up in there. So very cool. I'm going to hand this off to my cameraman, Eric, and he is going to give it to his little boy, Miles. And Miles is going to use this for his coloring adventures. Please subscribe because I put out new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. This last Tuesday, we didn't put out a normal video. We did a live stream of building these. Some of you may have seen that live stream. That's the first time I've done this in a long, long time. And it was weird, it was fun. Let me know if you want to see more live streams like that. You can kind of get the feel of the pacing of the projects that we're doing in here. I also have a second channel, Make Something Too, where all my vlogs are. I got some Grow Your YouTube channel videos over there, plus some other kind of helpful mindset type videos, so go check that out. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is a great craft show project. If you're going to make this, try to make as many as you can to make efficient use of your time. I will have the free templates on my website. There'll be a link down below for you to get those free templates. All right guys, thanks for watching. Be safe, have fun, and make something. All right, so now we're going to drill all the holes. Now we're going to drill the hose. That's another one for the blooper reel.